You ready to go?
Sure.
You ready to go? All right. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Dave Shimoleski here with DirectLine Media, and this is Behind the Brand, brought to you by, DirectLine Media and our famous 60-second video. We're joined here today with Kimberly MOSTER of Kimberly Boutique in West Hartford Center, right here in West Hartford, Connecticut. So, Kim, thanks so much for joining us today. This is kind of neat. This is our second on-location podcast. Last week, we did Matt right across the street, your neighbor there, and today I thought I'd reach out to you and see if you want to do it, and you happily accepted, so I'm really excited to have you here. So before we get too far into everything, I want to touch a little bit on your history, the store, and then a little bit of current events. So let's kind of like introduce everybody to who you are, what you do, and what's the store's about. Let's start there. Would you mind?
Sure. I came to West Hartford about 15 years ago now to open Kimberly Boutique, which was actually in a smaller spot just down the block. And after 5 or 6 years, the bookworm closed, so we moved over and expanded our spot, and then we added Kimberly Gift next door when Max Muscle went out, and that's probably 5 years ago now. I came here from Manhattan. I'd been working in retail for 10 years, and I could never find a home for myself. I could never find a company that loved me the way I loved the company, and I worked so hard, and I just never felt like I was getting to the right place. And I thought I should do it for myself, and so that's what I did. And I have a really great spot here. I've got great staff. I have amazing clients. It's really fun.
It's super busy. Great. Yeah, it's a perfect location right on the main drag on Farmington.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
What's your history? What's your background?
Well, I went to school for biology and had originally intended to be a doctor. And then when I graduated, I always loved art. I always loved fashion. But I didn't think I could make a career out of that. I didn't know that it could be done. It was different back then. There were no TV shows about fashion design. There was nothing. So I did that. And when I graduated, I spent a year doing outside sales, medical sales. And I found that whenever I was on a lunch break that I didn't have a doctor's meeting, I would be shopping. Not necessarily buying anything because I was young and didn't have any money, but I was in any store. I would Goodwill, the mall, high-end boutiques. I just loved being there. So I got a part-time job while I was studying for exams at Saks, and that was the end of it. I stayed in retail. I love it.
That's awesome. So that all those different shops, the Goodwill and the higher end stuff. So do you bring sort of all that into your store? Is that sort of, so what's your, so what's your style in your store? What should people expect to see when they get in there?
I really want to serve women that they want to look great, but be comfortable, a little bit trendy, but not over the top. And I want people to be able to find things that fit. A lot of times a store might aim toward maybe just a very thin person all the time, or so I have a variety of sizes and a variety of fashions, a variety of a little bit preppy, a little bit edgy, and I do have a variety of price points. So you can get a pair of jeans for $100, you can get a pair of jeans for $300. It depends what kind of jeans you're looking for, but I like to try to have a wide variety.
Do you do any kind of formal type wear, or a little bit more formal?
We have been for many years, although that's a problem currently. But yes, we do.
Yeah, good stuff. So when people come in, is there something that, do you help them find their style?
Oh my gosh, of course. Yeah,
so
that's what we do.
What's that process like? I mean, do people come in with an idea, or sometimes no idea, a little bit of both?
A little bit of both, but over the years we've been open so long, we know our clients so well that we often will buy for them. And many of our clients, they'll just come in the store and say, I need some new things for work, or I need something, I'm going away for the weekend. And they don't even really look around. They go right to the fitting room. We grab a bunch of stuff. We know them. We know what they already have in their closet, what they want to match up to. We know their style.
So they don't do the browsing. You sort of
not necessarily. We have some that do. We have
we
have certain clients that want to go through every piece of clothing in the store, but not many. Most people are in a hurry. That's one of the reasons they shop with us, is they don't have time to be buying and returning and shopping online. They just want to come to one place, get what they need, and then move on. They have busy lives.
So they trust you, knowing their style. I guess you have that relationship for so long, you kind of know, and you know the season, what's going to work, what's coming up, and you just give them a bunch of stuff, and they try it on and take what they like, and you put the rest back.
That's it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you get any like now, for instance, since we're all sort of closed up, do you have people calling you, and do you send them care packages or anything like that?
Yeah. I'm doing some, like I'll do a box for somebody where they'll say what they need and I'll go through and choose a bunch of items, drop them at their house, they try it on, and then I pick up what doesn't fit.
Is that working for you?
It works okay, but it's not the same,
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
really nice to be with the clothes so that when I can see the jean on somebody and then I can say, oh, I have the right one for you. And I can't do that when they're at home because I can't see them in it, and I don't have 40 styles of jeans,
Sure.
That I can drop at their house. That's crazy.
Sure.
So
yeah.
it makes it much tougher.
Yeah. Where do you get your clothes? I mean, do you have anything like custom made, or is it pretty much from different designers?
It's all different designers, many out of the States, but also we do a lot of business with European designers as well. Recently, Portugal, we've been doing a lot of business with, in Spain. So we order 6 months ahead, 8 months ahead, and the things are made for us, so they're not, they're available in other stores, but we may order, say, from a brand, say from this new a Portuguese company.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably the only store in Connecticut that picked that company, so it's unique to us in the area, but the clothes are available all around the world.
What's like the so for instance, you're going to have a style, and there's other stores in town that do similar work than you do, but do they have different type of style?
Yeah, totally different style.
So do you,
right.
any of you guys really clash in sort of the exact
Not
same
so
thing?
much. And actually the brands really protect you from that. So if I carry, say for example, these David Klein shirts, like my customers love these shirts. And other stores may want to carry that brand of shirt, but the brand itself, they'll check a zip code and make sure that I'm the only one who gets to have it in my zip code.
Oh, get out. Oh, that's cool. So
It's
what about,
nice. It's a loyalty back and forth.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
continue to buy from them and they only sell to me.
Oh, that's great. So is that all of Connecticut or just the area?
No, just the area,
Just the area.
usually just West Hartford.
Okay. Do you have any shops maybe in? Do you travel around the state and look at sort of different boutique shops to sort of get ideas about sort of what's trending, or is it, or do you kind of go more out of state to see what's happening?
To be honest, I don't ever have time to do that anymore. Like
Okay.
I work all the time, so I rarely shop
Yep.
another store. Before I opened, I did shop a lot of stores. I spent like 2 years really going all around the tri-state area and seeing what everyone was doing. But now I just go with my gut. Like I go with what I know I love and what I think my clients will want. In fact, originally when I opened, I like sort of wild things sometimes. And I would think, well, I can't get this for the store. No one's going to want this crazy thing. And then I thought, well, let me get it anyway, and I'll get it in my size. And if I don't sell it, I'll get to keep it.
Sure.
So I started doing that, and then it kept selling out, whatever the crazy thing was. So now we carry a lot of really adventurous, unique styles, and people kind of come to us for that now. So
I
that's
love
been
that.
really fun.
So you're selling your style. That's
Yes,
pretty cool. So it's not
somewhat, yeah.
necessarily custom clothing that you design, but it's your style as far
Just
as
an
you buy
unusual
and put it
piece, like
together.
even this
Unusual
dress.
pieces, yeah.
It's an unusual dress,
No, it's great.
like
I
not
love it.
everyone is going to wear this dress.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, I'll only get 3. And the 2 of them sold out right away, and somebody wanted to buy mine, and I honestly had to take it off the floor because I didn't want to let it go.
That's nice. Where your customers from? Are they just West Hartford? Are they Farmington Valley? Are they all over Connecticut? Do you have people
kind
out
of
of state?
all over Connecticut. We have a lot of people that come from Longmeadow, and we have a lot of people that actually come from the city that either their parents lived here or they used to live here, and they know the shop. So whenever they come home to visit their family, they'll come in. A lot of people from Boston. And then a lot of people all over the country now, because we've had people that live in West Hartford that maybe work for usually a healthcare, health insurance firm. And then they end up moving, to California or Arizona or retiring, and we still do a lot of business with them through the mail.
That's loyalty. That's awesome. Yeah. So how long do you have it here in West Hartford?
Well,
this shop?
15 years.
It's been 15 years.
Yeah.
And it's always been Kimberly Boutique?
Kimberly Boutique,
Kimberly
yeah.
Boutique. Why Kimberly Boutique? Was it the name? Did you just like the name? Was it a certain, what's the word I'm looking for? A vibe that you wanted to give your customers?
To be honest, when my husband will say that he thought of the name,
Okay.
and maybe he did, I can't remember. But when we were living in the city and I knew I wanted to open, one of the kind of things that had always been happening is I could always see people whispering, "What's her name again? What's her name again?" Because the client wants to treat you with respect. They want to remember your name, but they can't.
Yeah.
So I thought if I put my name on the door, they never have to remember my name. They're never uncomfortable. I have to remember their name,
Right.
but I figured it would work. So I knew I wanted to have Kimberly in it, and I think Peter came up with the Kimberly Boutique.
Love it. Yeah, because it works. It's simple.
It's good. It kind
it's
of
right to the point. Yeah.
I feel like you can remember it. And it really does help for people to know my name. Now they come in, they know my name, and they whisper, "What's her name?" From one of the people that I work with.
Yeah. How many staff do you have?
I have 3 full-time currently and 2 part-time.
That's awesome. Yeah. How long have they been with you?
My Beth has been with me I think 10 years now.
Wow.
A long time.
Wow,
So
that's a long time.
she's
That's great.
my number 2 or my number 1 and my best friend now. It's been many years we've been working together.
So do they have their own style that they bring to the shop? Do you sort of collaborate? How does that work?
Beth very much so. Well, Beth really buys with me, so we choose almost all the clothing together, and we happen to have almost the same sense of style, which has been really awesome. But we're very different. We're different sizes, and we wear things differently. So we definitely have a different point of view. I think that some people prefer to work with her, and some people prefer to work with me based on that.
Yeah, that's nice. And then you said you moved into Kimberly Gifts. Now, when was that?
I believe it was 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, I kind of remember that store. What was it, Max Muscle or something?
It was Max Muscle.
I kind of remember that store a little bit. Why would you venture into something like that? And what do you sell in Kimberly Gifts?
At the time, the spot was becoming open, and I just felt like it may never come open again, so I should take it while I can, because I could make a connecting door. So, and I didn't, originally I thought maybe I'd do a children's clothing store, but I was concerned about that industry. It seemed to have moved mostly online, so I ended up deciding not to do that after doing a bunch of research. But I have always had customers asking me for gifts. I need a gift for this, I need a gift for that, and really all we have at the gift price point, which is typically under $100, would be jewelry and t-shirts. You know, people were looking for something a little more special. And there really is nowhere to get it anymore in the center. There were so many gift stores years ago, and they're all closed.
Yeah.
So now we're like the last bastion of gifts. Like if you need a nice greeting card, we have it. If you need a lovely wedding gift, we have it. Baby clothes. We just have a little bit of everything. And most of our clients, they get a lot of their gifts there. And we've met a lot of new people that maybe normally would not go to the boutique. They'll go to the gift store because everyone likes gifts, and then they meander through the door, and then they see, you know, how nice we are in the boutique, and sometimes they'll become a client of that store as well.
So the gift shop is working to sort of draw people into
a little bit, yeah.
Was that the intention, or not so much? You just
not
wanted to sell
really.
gifts?
You know what? I didn't know that people found my store intimidating. I've heard that since. And one of the reasons why I opened it is I used to work in Manhattan, and there are a lot of boutiques in Manhattan that can be very intimidating. And my whole goal was not to have that. You know, I want to have a nice, warm, friendly feeling, you know, loving people of all, like, economic backgrounds and sizes, and, you know, just a warm, friendly place for everybody to go. And I feel like we really have that, and I thought that everybody knew that, but I guess that's not true. A lot of people think we only carry things for young people or things for thin people, or
see.
You know,
Yeah.
and we're just so not like that.
Yeah.
So that they go into the gift store. The gift has to be wrapped. It takes a few minutes. So then they'll wander over, and then they can see how we interact with clients. They can see, like, the friendships are clearly visible, you know, when you come into the store. And we've made a lot of new friends, a lot of new clients that way.
I love that. That is great. Yeah, definitely not an intimidating store. I've been in there a couple of times, and
Right.
yeah, and it is a warm, inviting store. Let's talk about your fashion shows that you do, right? Which I think is really neat. How long have you been doing those?
Since we made it to the big store, so I think 2010 might have been the first one.
Okay, so a little while. Is it,
Yeah.
do you do them twice a year, once a year?
We do them twice a year,
Fall and spring?
each season, yeah.
Yeah.
And when we first started doing it, we had models come from a modeling agency, and they would send us young girls who needed it for their resume. And it was fun and lovely. But the girls were so young and so slim that they didn't really represent our client in the clothes necessarily. There was a disconnect. So after a couple of years, a good friend of mine, Kristen Beth Ferris, who's an event planner, she attended one of the fashion shows.
Yeah, Kristen.
And after the show, she said, you know, Kim, you really should have your clients be modeling. It would just make so much more sense. And I was like, oh my God, that's an amazing idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So that has totally changed it. We always have our clients do it. All their friends and family come. It's different sizes, it's different races, different heights, different ages. And it makes such a difference, I think.
Is this sort of like the kickoff to the spring season?
Yeah, it shows everybody what we have, and it's more of a feel good. We don't necessarily sell a lot from the shows, depending. In fact, we sell almost nothing that night because it's really a fashion show night. It's not a sales night, and most of the merchandise is off the floor. But it's a promotional thing, you know, it's fun. Like, our clients really look forward to it. The models love doing it. You know, we make it really special for them. We have hair and makeup and champagne, and
that's awesome.
You know, sometimes something stronger. But it's just really a fun night. I'm missing it. You know, it should have been last week. It's really sad not
Oh,
to
yeah,
have
that's
it.
right. Yeah. So now, well, then in the fall, have you sort of shifted, and now you're going to plan for the fall? Or
I
is that
hope
still
so,
sort
but
of up in the
we'll
air?
have to see, to
Yeah.
have a lot of people come and they're sitting right next to each other. So it may
Yeah.
be something that we can't do, or we have to do maybe virtually in
Yeah.
the fall.
Yeah, definitely. Is it is the fashion show, is that open to the public? It is invitation
Oh
only. How
yeah.
do you do it? Oh, it is. Okay.
We don't invite. We invite our clients. We tell them when it is, but we invite them quite close to the event because we want our clients to have good seats.
Okay, gotcha.
But the door is open and everyone is welcome to come.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, I love that. How has I know you're struggling a little bit. Well, everybody is struggling in the center with shops like yours, retail shops like that. That are shut down, and we're trying to figure this out. What's what's the first thought that comes to your mind when you had to close your doors?
Oh, I don't know. My heart was broken. Honestly. I thought about my staff and my family and my vendors and my landlord. I just was thinking of everybody and how am I gonna satisfy everyone? How am I gonna make this happen when I can't be open? It's impossible. So that was my first thought.
Yeah, I mean it's yours. It's like your blood, right?
It was
I mean,
devastating. I've never felt that kind of. I had like a grief experience where I was really traumatized. Like I couldn't. It took me a few days, and I kept going to work. I kept going to work every day. I laid off everybody, but I just kept going and doing the best that I could. And then eventually, I got through it, and
we're here.
Here I am. I'm still getting through it.
Yeah, we all are.
And I will,
It's hard,
right?
yeah.
And I will.
But
Yeah.
it's definitely. Do you see any changes in the future? Like when we all kind of go back to work or whatever, whenever that is. Do you see things being different? Have you noticed like, okay, well this is maybe good. Maybe I can do more deliveries, or maybe I can do some things online. Have you talked about anything about that?
Well, I will say I'm not a lover of Instagram, and I don't even believe in selling clothes online. Like I believe you should come in and try the clothes on, and that personal experience is what it's all about. And my website a month ago said that on there. It said we're a brick and mortar store. Call us, come see us. Like we're here for you. So I took that down, obviously, and I've been uploading clothes every day, and now I have hundreds of items on my website, and people do shop from it every day. But when I see the order come in, I look at the order, and I know the client, and I might say, ooh, we should get that in a different size, or ooh, they would like this other thing better. And I can reach out to them and make that happen.
Sure.
But it's just not the same. But it's good that I did it, because now I've built up this whole website this past month, which is something that I didn't have time to do in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing my Instagram. Every day I post and pictures of me, which I never did before.
Yep.
But I know I have to do it, and it does. It creates content. People get excited. I have so many more followers. I have so much more interaction. Even though I took yesterday off, I was Instagram messaging with people all day.
Yeah, social media really never stops, does it? You
No.
gotta do it every day, even if you're not working. Sort of an everyday thing. Does your husband help out with
He
things
has
from
been
the store?
helping out, actually. He's been doing deliveries for me sometimes, and all the pictures that have gone on Instagram, either he or my daughter are taking.
Okay.
They help me do shipping. They've done some vacuuming and dusting.
Yeah, but you're thinking then maybe the internet shop is something that you may keep.
Well, I think we'll have to keep it for at least a year.
Yeah.
It's difficult because we're a small store. So say I get in 4 of one item and I put them on the website, and then a client calls and she wants to try it, so I bring it to her house, and then somebody buys it online, but it's at her house.
Yeah.
So it's a little, you have to really be on top of it.
Sure.
But
yeah, because you
it's
can't
a
have
good addition.
you can't have a inventory of 50 outfits or something.
Right, I'm not in
of
that
the same
business.
thing. You're not in
Yeah.
that business, yeah, because you're a boutique. That's
And I don't
what
want
it
to be in
says.
that business.
Yeah.
Shipping is no fun. You
Yeah.
ship it, you don't see the client, it doesn't fit, they return it.
Yeah.
It's just no fun.
And there's no interaction there. There's no personal
Right,
experience. There's
right.
not that like come in, try it, talk about, what do you need this for? Is it a special occasion, something or other? They just buy it, so you really don't know. Did they just like it, or is it for something special?
Right.
Do you get a lot of that? It's like, hey, I got this party I'm going to. It's going to be on Block Island or at the beach or in the city.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. So they come to you
Or
special
we did
for
all
that?
the time. I don't know about
Yeah.
parties going forward, but in the past,
Yeah.
event dressing is the thing. You need a going out top, you need a great cocktail dress. Like people definitely come to us for that type of thing.
Yeah. Do you sponsor any events? Any other events? that may be around in the West Hartford area? I'm just curious.
I mean, I have done a lot of charity fashion shows for different
Okay.
groups. You know, we'll go
Okay.
in and their membership usually will model, and we'll do it for an event for them to raise money. We do tons of donating to all sorts of different events. We'll do gift cards or items all the time, that
Yeah.
kind of thing, or do ads in local schools,
Yeah.
mailers, and things like that.
How do you keep up the clientele? Is it all word of mouth? I mean, now you said you're on Instagram and stuff, but before that, was it mostly just word of mouth, or did you
I
do
think a
advertising?
lot of it is word of mouth. Yeah, we had television commercials years ago.
Okay.
But we haven't done that in forever.
Yeah.
And I do some print ads, but I do a lot of constant contact and
Oh,
a
I see.
lot of mailers
Yep.
direct to our clients, and sometimes I'll do mass mailings.
Yeah.
I sadly did one in Glastonbury, like the second week of March is when it mailed, so I
Oh,
didn't see
no.
any of those cards back, which is a bummer.
Yeah, that's too bad. Now you're part of the business association here.
Correct.
What's the Center, West Hartford Center Business Association?
Yeah.
What kind of organization is that? Could you kind of, obviously it's for the businesses here,
Mm-hmm.
but what do you get out of that organization? You obviously put some time into it, and
Yeah.
sort of what are they there? What are they here to do for you?
I've gotten a lot out of it over the years. Probably primarily friendships with all the local business owners, which have been really helpful, especially during this time. You know, we just have really deep connections. But when I first joined, I had just come to the center and I was new to West Hartford. I didn't know anyone here. So that really helped me get kind of a base of friendship and what's going on here. And I started to get involved in events. And for me, the sidewalk sale is a very important event. And it has dwindled over the years as retailers have closed and restaurants have taken those spots. So the sale is not what it was, but I still want to make sure that our banner goes up and that people know about it. So that's one of the reasons why I always stay on the board, because I figure
Yeah.
it might not happen if I don't make it happen.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting. There's a ton of restaurants in town, right? So I think we've been in town about the same time. You're here in the center every day. I'm not. So you've really seen. It's funny because you just said shops like yours have closed and restaurants have taken that place. What was the ratio, if you know, roughly, of like your type of stores, retail to restaurants, then 15 years ago? What kind of
Yeah.
is it now?
I don't know what the ratio was, but I do know that when I came here, there were many apparel retailers. They get Khaki and Black and Glee, and there were a few different children's clothing stores. There have been a few different shoe stores, and they're all gone. I mean, it's BK and Company, me, Jay McLaughlin opened, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not like it was.
Yeah.
And the restaurants have taken most of those spots.
Why do you think that is? Is it internet shopping? Is it people just want to eat more?
Yeah, I think somewhat internet, for sure. But the rents are high, so if you want to be in business, you really have to work hard. And restaurants are able to, you know, drive more dollars. It's just the way the industries are.
Yeah. Do you think the rents are too high?
I would say starting now going forward, yes. Prior to this, you know, it was a high rent, but I was happy to pay it because we're in a beautiful spot and I get great foot traffic. And being near the restaurants is great. Like being near Max's Oyster Bar all these years has been amazing for me. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a call. We went out to dinner last night. I walked by your window. I saw this dress. I mean, it's
awesome.
wonderful to have restaurants in the center
Yeah.
also, but it would be nice to have more retail.
Did you come to West Hartford specifically because you knew this was going to be a great place for your business, or did we just happen to land here for some
No,
other
you know
reason?
what it was is back then it was 2004 and the economy was amazing and I
Yeah.
could not find a spot. I went all over. I was looking in Brooklyn. I was looking in New Jersey, Long Island, Connecticut. I could not get a good spot on a good street in a good town. Like they would be snapped up by someone within the town before I could get my hands on it. So there was a woman here who was selling her business. It was called 224 Park, and it was a women's apparel store, different than mine, but close enough to what I was envisioning. So I bought her business and I got her spot.
Oh, perfect. So that's how it worked. That's cool. So yeah, so it wasn't it just happened to be the right place at the right time and happened
Yeah,
to be
it was
West Hartford.
like the right. I had literally never been to the town.
Okay.
But it was on a business to business website.
Gotcha.
And I happened to be in Connecticut. I was on the shore.
Okay.
And so I took a ride up here, and it was a rainy day, I remember. But I went in all the stores, and I just had the right vibe. I just
Sure.
felt it was the first town that I got out of the car, and I had this very good feeling.
Yeah.
And then when I was in the store space too, I just had this very positive feeling about it.
Yeah. Well,
no anxiety.
It's definitely a unique town. Very. I don't know if there's any other town like West Hartford. It's very
I
unique.
love it.
Yeah, no, it's
I have
a very
never
cool
lived
town.
somewhere this long. Like as a kid, we moved
Wow,
a lot.
really? Yeah.
And I've never really, I don't think ever lived in the same place for more than 4 or 5 years.
So you live in West Hartford as well?
And now I live in West Hartford, and we've been in our same house, I think, for 9 years, which
Awesome.
is 100% the longest time I've ever lived in a house.
I'll get out.
And I love it. I really do.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, no, do you think going forward, I mean, it sounds like you're going to pull through. Kimberly Boutique is going to survive.
It sure will.
And you're going to make it. You don't have to name names, but is there anybody in the center here that maybe might not come out of this on the other side?
Probably.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just looking at what I'm looking at, it's a challenge. It's something I've never been through before. Like 2008 was not ideal, but I was open the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to make it happen. I was open.
Yeah.
But to shut somebody down for this period of time in a fashion business, you know, it's tough.
And to have there really is no date on the calendar. I think that's the other anxiety part. It's like, we just, okay, well, I can plan until whatever, but there is no date. There's no way to plan.
Well, I can open on May 20th, and I will.
Okay.
But it's going to be by appointment only, and who's going to really want to shop? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, where's anybody going?
Do you do by appointment only now, or not so much?
We have, yeah.
Okay.
Like we'll come in early for people who have to work and they can only make it at a certain time or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Has the fashion changed?
It's going to change
over these couple of months. I mean, people are dressing more comfortably now, right?
Yeah,
They're not
they
wearing.
are, which is not what I have sold in the past. I sell work clothes, event clothes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to really pivot. I have already pivoted a little bit, and I'm going to try to do that more. But because I order 6 to 8 months in advance, it's a little difficult.
It's hard, yeah.
Because you don't want to hurt your vendors. You know, I mean, I just had to cancel an order this morning. I love those clothes.
Yeah.
I want those clothes. It's a brand new designer. I want her to make it, but no one's going to buy those clothes.
Yeah, but if you can't hold it till next year, right?
You can't. Fashion is you got to sell
change.
it. You have to sell it within 6 to 8 weeks, or it's
tough. That's a tough business. It's constant. It's not just.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's wonderful until this happens.
Yeah. No, I mean, if that's what you're doing, I mean, it's great because it is fun. It's always something new and exciting.
Yeah, every day
and
there's
vibrant.
a new box, new and exciting.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten any new boxes really in 6 weeks. I had to stop getting them.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. That's tough. That's tough. Well, I'm really glad that you're doing, what you're doing here, and you've kind of got through those first few days of awfulness.
Right. No, and to be honest,
here.
I didn't even say it. Like, one of the best things about this is so many wonderful clients have reached out to me.
Yeah.
And they want to support me, and they'll buy a gift card, or what can they buy as a gift, or what do you have that's comfy in the store for me? Like, people have really reached out and been so wonderful, or just reached out to check in on me, make sure I'm okay. Like, it's been really nice touching base with all those people.
There's been a big push for like selling gift cards. Is that helpful?
I mean, it is, because you get the cash in the bank that you may need right now to pay, bills for clothes, in my case, that are sitting on the floor. I got to pay for them.
Yeah.
So it's helpful. Yeah. And in the end, for my clients who have bought them, it'll be helpful for them too, because when I do open, I'm going to be on sale. So if it's $100 that you buy for a gift card, it's going to be worth a lot more than $100 when you really come in to shop.
Yeah.
And I'm sure for the restaurants too, like, to get that money in the bank so that when they do reopen, that they can afford to make that investment to get all that fresh food back again and to bring their staff again. It'll be helpful.
Yeah, good. The other thing I want to talk to you about is going forward. Well, your plans for the future before our pandemic hit. So what was sort of your plans? I mean, you had the boutique, you opened up the gift shop. Did you have any sort of plans for further expansion? Anything like that, different sort of line of clothes, different way of doing business? Did you have any thoughts of that into the future, or you're pretty good where you were?
I was thinking I would probably just stick with this, although recently a competitor closed in Glastonbury, and it's a nice little spot, and so I had been reaching out to that shopping center to see about opening there. And luckily they were really slow to get back to me, so I didn't do it, thank God.
Yeah.
So that actually is a good thing.
So you wanted to expand?
I was thinking of it.
It's
just that's a good little spot over there. Yeah. We have a lot of clients in Glastonbury, but I think there are a lot of women in Glastonbury that don't even know we exist. But I would never do that now.
You don't think you would ever do that? Maybe in a couple of years when things kind of.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Really? Yeah. Yeah.
This was scary.
Yeah. No. Definitely. Yeah. And having that other shop, that would be a little twice as scary, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of us pulling through. I think it's a great community that we all banded together, and we're doing what we can to help to support each other and stuff like that. And I'm really happy that you're here and
Thanks for having
you're
me.
thriving. Yeah, no, absolutely. Anything else you want to sort of talk about? That you want to get the word out about? I know there's. Why don't you tell us about some of the events that happen in West Hartford? Hopefully, something will happen this summer or the fall, because I know there's different. Like you mentioned, the sidewalk sale. Is there anything else that happens in the center of West Hartford
Oh,
that
yeah, we
people
have
might be
lots of
interested
great
about?
events. We
Yeah.
have a really nice event in the fall called the We Care Card, which I love, and it raises money for Food Share. So you buy a card for $50, and that $50 goes directly to Food Share, and then you get 20% off in my store and all participating stores, the whole store, for a 10-day period.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty great fundraiser, and really a good feel-good event. We usually have Spring Fashion Week, and there's Fashion Night Out, so we're not going to have that, obviously. And there's big talk now, which I don't know if it'll really happen, but restaurants can only have outdoor seating for a bit going forward. So there's been a lot of talk about hopefully closing off LaSalle and having the restaurants be able to put their tables out. And I know that town hasn't even addressed it yet,
Right.
but I'm hoping that would happen, because that would be amazing.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I think it's a great idea. Whether
Right.
it be some time of year or whatever
Right, even just for a few weekends,
for
I
a
think.
few weekends,
Thursday,
I think
Friday,
it'd be great.
Saturday,
Yeah.
for
'Cause I know
maybe
that-
the month of June.
They shut it down for that bicycle event every year. I think LaSalle and stuff,
Yeah.
which is nice. But it would be nice to just have people walk and tables and eat and
Just a
anything else,
feel-good-
just to feel good. Yeah, I
and
think
get
it'd be
some
nice.
money into those
And
restaurants.
get some money in those restaurants. Absolutely, yeah. And maybe you could do some retail over there too. See what happens, how it goes. But
I'll just go eat.
yeah, just go eat. Yeah, but it would be because it's a perfect sort of block.
It
to do
really
something
is.
like
It's
that.
perfect for that.
Yeah.
I think it would be ideal. It'd be great for the town.
Yeah, yeah. Anything else that happens? I know the We Care card. You've been doing that what 3 years, 4 years, 5 years?
This may be the 4th year,
Okay.
and prior to that, we had done it for the Connecticut Children's Medical Center
Okay.
under another name. So we've really been doing it maybe for 10 years.
And that's grown, right? Every year seems to
Yeah,
get a
every
little
year
bit
we
bigger.
get more people participating.
Yeah.
We raise more money,
And so it's more not just people buying the cards, but more shops.
more businesses participating.
Yeah.
As some of the older businesses go out and the newer ones come in, they're more open to participating in things, and they're energetic and they want
Sure.
to get involved.
Sure, and it's a little bit of a promotion for them as well. People
Oh yeah.
that might go into their store that may not
Well,
otherwise.
that's the whole point of the card. Is you buy
Yeah.
the card, you get a piece of paper that tells you all these different places where you can get the discount, and the hope is to keep people shopping in the center and not going to the mall right before the holidays.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a good point. What's the mall competition like with your shop?
For us, Nordstrom has always been our biggest competitor in the area. They've really changed their business model, it sounds, so they have a lot less merchandise on the floor, and they do a lot more e-commerce
Okay.
through the store. So that's actually been helpful to us, because when people want to shop, they want to buy the item then. They don't want to go into a store and then have to
Sure.
order it online.
Sure.
So that's sort of been helpful to us.
You would never consider going into a mall, would
Never.
you? Yeah.
I have worked in malls before. It's not for me.
Yeah, it's not. What's different about? I mean, besides the obvious, what's different about the shopping experience in the mall as opposed to like a main street?
Well, the obvious is true. Being outdoors and amongst small business is just more enjoyable, I think, for the client and for the worker. Like, I love having this big front window. I see the sun
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
In a mall, you go in, you don't know
Yeah.
what it's like. You come out, it's dark, you miss the whole day.
It's like you're in a casino.
Yes, it is. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't love that. But aside from that, mall stores are different nowadays. Like, it used to be, like when I was young, Banana Republic was an amazing store.
Yeah.
Like, they had beautiful product, and you would want to work there. It would be exciting. You
Yeah.
know, but Banana's not like that anymore. Like through the economic changes or whatever happened. Just the quality of the goods and the uniqueness of the goods isn't really there anymore. I mean, there's still Anthropology. That's a nice shop.
Yeah, it's one of my wife's favorite.
Yeah, I think that's probably, if I was to shop in the
Yeah.
mall, I probably would shop there.
Yeah.
But it's just, even that, it's not the same as it used to be. And I don't know exactly why that is, but our customers really want unique, fun stuff, and I guess there is a boutique shopper. Like, they know that you have those amazing things.
Yeah.
They can walk all over the mall for 3 hours. You're never going to find the kind of things
It's
that we
I
have.
guess a different clientele, right? As different people shop in the mall as opposed to shop maybe
a little
Main
bit.
Street.
I mean,
maybe?
some people do both. All my
Yeah.
life, I can shop anywhere, as
Yeah.
can my daughter. Like, I can buy a bunch of stuff at Walgreens. Like, anywhere I go, I'll find something exciting. So there are clients that shop both the mall and boutiques. But
Yeah.
a lot of our clients, once you come into us, you're in and out in an hour with everything that you need. Or you can be in the mall forever. You can't get anybody even to say hello to you, let
Yeah.
alone set up a fitting room for you
Yeah.
or call you back with a special order. It's
Yeah.
just never going to happen there.
Just a quick aside, the hardware store right here in town. So when we first moved in, I used to go to the hardware store a lot, and then for whatever reason, there's the Home Depot and there's all those places. So since it's under new management now, new owners,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, I just haven't been. So I went in there I think it was last week.
So different, right?
I was like, this is the best store I've ever been in.
They have a lot of merchandise.
So I'm really psyched. So I'm trying to find excuses to go down to the hardware store.
That's so funny. I go there at least once a week.
Yeah, no, it's a great shop. Was it Larson's?
It was Fowles and now it's Larson's.
Larson's, yeah. So it's great store right there in the center. How can people get a hold of you? Number, address, website?
Well, we're KimberlyBoutique.com. We're Kimberly Boutique on Instagram. And our telephone number is 523-4894. And people can call. They can email me, KimberlyBoutique@gmail. I'm very accessible.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And you're hoping to be more
accessible.
accessible once we get this lockdown lifted and people get in there and
Exactly.
shop with you and personalize.
I can't wait.
Personalize their wardrobe. So anything last touches you want to anything?
No, I thank you for
Yeah.
speaking with me and giving me a chance to
Yeah.
say all this somewhat interesting stuff.
No, this is great. I'm really glad we had a chance to talk now. Talk today because we've interacted before, done a
Yeah,
couple
we
of jobs
have,
together
yeah.
and things like that. So, but I wanted to have you on the show and just kind of get a little bit deeper into what it is you do and why you're here and why you're doing it. And I think we got that. So thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
On the show. Thanks, guys, for listening. That wraps it up for another edition of Behind the Brand. This was with Kimberly Boutique, and we are in West Hartford Center. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you again next week. Bye, everybody. That's it.
All right, that was not bad.